As awareness stabilizes within the infinite field, something subtle yet unmistakable begins to crystallize. It is not an image, not a thought, not a command. It is presence acquiring gravity. This is the birth of majesty within stillness, not dominance, not superiority, but inner authority emerging without effort. Quantum majesty is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not seek recognition. It is felt as steadiness beneath all movement. When it awakens, urgency dissolves completely. You are no longer pushed by fear or pulled by desire. You move because movement is aligned, not because it is required. In this state, you may notice that the body feels heavier, yet more relaxed, as if gravity itself has softened into support. This is not exhaustion. This is grounding at a higher frequency. Awareness is no longer floating above life. It is inhabiting form fully, deliberately, with dignity. Majesty arises when consciousness remembers that it does not need to prove its existence. It simply is. The universe does not rush to validate itself. Stars do not compete for brightness. Planets do not apologize for their orbit. They exist in silent agreement with the laws that shape them. You are part of that same agreement. As quantum majesty integrates, the need to react fades. Events still occur, but they no longer hook into identity. You respond rather than react. You choose rather than defend. This is not detachment. It is command without force. The quantum field responds differently now, not with chaos, not with resistance, but with refinement. Opportunities arrive cleaner. Obstacles appear clearer. Delays feel intentional rather than frustrating. You begin to sense that timing is not something to manage. It is something to respect. Majesty is inseparable from responsibility, but not the kind taught by pressure. It is responsibility rooted in clarity. When you see clearly, action becomes inevitable. When you see clearly, integrity requires no discipline. It flows naturally from alignment. In this state, words become fewer. Silence becomes eloquent. You may find that explaining yourself feels unnecessary. Truth does not argue. It resonates. Those attuned will feel it. Those who are not will pass without conflict. Quantum majesty does not isolate you from others. It stabilizes you among them. Your presence becomes regulating rather than reactive. Without intention, without effort, coherence spreads. This is leadership without hierarchy, influence without persuasion. You may feel an unfamiliar calm around decisions that once caused anxiety. Paths that once felt heavy now feel neutral. Some simply fall away without drama. This is not loss. This is precision increasing. The universe favors precision. When your signal sharpens, life wastes less energy testing what you are not. Confusion was feedback. Clarity ends the feedback loop. In this frequency, even ambition transforms. Wanting dissolves into readiness. You do not chase outcomes. You prepare the state that receives them. The field responds to who you are being, not what you are demanding. Majesty is the embodiment of patience without passivity. You can wait without shrinking. You can act without strain. You can speak without defense. This balance is rare because it cannot be learned. It can only be remembered. You are remembering now. As this remembrance deepens, the past loses emotional charge. Memory remains, but the weight lifts. You see events as chapters, not wounds. Wisdom surfaces without bitterness. Strength remains without armor. Quantum majesty is calm power. It does not rush to intervene. It allows systems to reveal themselves fully before engaging. This is why restraint becomes natural. You do not waste energy correcting what will collapse on its own. Your nervous system now recognizes safety without stagnation. Stillness no longer feels like danger. Silence no longer feels empty. You are at home inside yourself without needing stimulation. In this state, creativity changes form. It becomes clean, direct, inevitable. Ideas arrive fully formed or not at all. You do not wrestle them into existence, you receive them. The cosmic field responds with subtle confirmation. Synchronicities simplify, complexity reduces. What is not aligned cannot maintain proximity. What is aligned draws near effortlessly. Majesty does not fear solitude. It welcomes it. Solitude becomes calibration rather than loneliness. You are never empty here. You are saturated with presence. As this hour continues, let yourself rest into this dignity, not pride, not ego, dignity. The quiet knowing that you belong to the universe not as a subject but as an expression. You are not beneath the cosmos, you are not above it, you are within it, and it is within you, without hierarchy, without conflict. Quantum majesty is consciousness seated in itself. Remain seated, breathe without instruction, let the spine lengthen naturally, let the chest soften. Let the mind remain quiet, not by force, but by respect. There is nothing more to achieve in this moment, nothing more to understand, nothing more to open. What is open is sufficient. You do not need to hold this state. It holds you, and as you remain here, life will continue to reorganize quietly, elegantly, inevitably around this center of gravity you have remembered. This is not a peak, it is a foundation. This is quantum majesty embodied. Remain. As you remain within this infinite field, there is no need to search for landmarks. Nothing here requires orientation. Awareness does not get lost. It simply expands, then rests, then expands again. Like the universe itself, it breathes without instruction. You are not guiding this process, you are allowing it. In this space, you may notice that the sense of I becomes softer, less defined, not disappearing, not dissolving into nothingness, but loosening its edges. Identity becomes translucent. It still functions, but it no longer dominates perception. This is where peace begins, not as an emotion, but as an absence of inner friction. The infinite field is not empty, it is saturated with intelligence. Every pause contains information. Every silence carries structure. What appears as nothing is in fact everything before form chooses direction. This is why creation always emerges from stillness. Noise cannot give birth to order, only coherence can. You are learning to recognize coherence not through thought, but through feeling tone. There is a subtle sense of rightness that does not argue, does not persuade, does not explain. It simply aligns. When you act from this space, movement feels effortless. When you speak from this space, words feel precise. When you rest in this space, rest feels complete. Time continues to loosen here. Minutes may stretch or collapse. Memory becomes less linear. The mind may attempt to reassert sequence, but sequence is optional now. Everything you need is already present in this moment. Past and future exist as textures, not directions. There is no urgency in the infinite field. Urgency belongs to survival narratives, to systems built on fear of lack. Here, nothing is missing, nothing is late, nothing is ahead of you. Even growth happens without pressure. Expansion unfolds naturally when resistance releases. You may sense waves of sensation moving through the body, warmth, lightness, heaviness, subtle vibration. Let them pass without interpretation. The body is recalibrating to hold more coherence. Sensation is simply energy reorganizing itself into harmony. In this field, the universe does not feel vast and distant. It feels intimate, close, almost personal yet beyond personality. You may feel watched, not by something external, but by awareness recognizing itself. This is not surveillance, it is self-recognition. Civilizations rise and fall within this field without disturbing it.